Welcome back to Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro. Today, guys, we got a really great show for you today. We had the Game Awards this last weekend. We got the Karate Kid Legends trailer just came out. But we also, tomorrow, are going to be blessed with possibly the biggest trailer of all time. That is DC Studios Superman. There's a lot riding on that. But before we get into, and we're going to be talking about that today and its implications and a bunch of other really cool stuff. But Introduce is going to be on the show with me today. My friends, as always, the great Adakuji, GQ, and Simon Says. But joined today, Grand Finals Entertainment. G-Man himself, Garrett, is here. What is up, my friend?
Hello. It feels great to be back, even if it's virtual.
Yeah, it is. It's great for you to have you with us here today. Hope we have a lot of really, really good times. A lot of really cool stuff to get into, but first and foremost, my friend, you have the floor it's been a while since you've been on the show. So what's been going on with you lately?
So yeah, I just wanted to come on here to talk about, what's changed since I've been on here last, which was like a year or two ago, year and a half. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
So yeah, just pretty much just talking about the rebrand that's been happening. We've kind of been working on for the past month or two, because we were Grand Finals Gaming. And now we've since switched our name to Grand Finals Entertainment. And that kind of sparked from me building a team of people over the last few years, and me kind of realizing, like, some of these people have unique talents. Why not, let them do that and make some money doing it? So we have like people who are good at making art, people who are good photographers, people who are in film school that want to do some video work, and people who kind of bring in their own interests. Like someone was like, hey, I would love to run a photo booth at events, and stuff like that. So we kind of went from just gaming events to having, like I said, photographers, videographers, photo booths, DJs, live music, silent discos. We're even doing like bar games now, like trivias and Jeopardies. And one thing I've been doing this month, actually, every week is they call it bar bango. It's basically bingo, but you have to guess what the song is that I'm playing and see if it's on your card, and you get a bingo. So stuff like that is kind of what we're turning it into as a whole entertainment thing. So we're still doing gaming stuff, still running tournaments, doing conventions, supplying at other places. So it's a work in progress still, but it's been good so far.
All right, no, that's cool. So when you say silent disco,
yes, you haven't been to one of those?
No, I have not. So what in the hell is a silent disco?
So basically, it's you have it like a DJ. Sometimes there can be up to 3 at the same time, playing music, but everybody's listening to the music through headphones. So, and they're all wireless headphones, so you can dance and stuff while the DJ plays. But if you don't have headphones on, you can't hear anything. It's just a bunch of people shuffling around, which is hilarious. But at the same time, it's really, really cool because you're in control of your own volume. If there's multiple DJs playing, there's a little switch on the headphones where you can be like, all right, I want to see what DJ 2 is playing right now. Jam to whatever they're playing. So it's essentially a party, but it's quiet.
I'd imagine video of that's got to be really fun and very fun for re-editing.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's always really funny to just like if you're in one, because the first one I went to was at Electric Forest a few years ago, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then you're like jamming out, you just take the headphones off, you just hear shuffling, people shuffling,
shuffling,
or like yelling and stuff about how good the song is, and that's all you hear.
Nice.
So yeah, people, especially places that have like noise ordinances and stuff like that are next to other buildings, like to have that as an option. So it's not super loud, but you can still have a party with DJs playing music. So
now you said wireless headphones. I would imagine you'd have to supply all of those.
Yes, that's where it gets really, really expensive on our end. So that's why we do charge quite a bit for it, because those headphones are about like $40 to $50 each.
Yeah.
And you have to have a transmitter. And you got to supply, at least at a minimum maybe like 30 headphones per gig.
Absolutely.
So if you want to do the math there, but I always tell people it's worth it because it's very rare that you see an event that has those. So I'm always like, the price tag is high, but it's incredibly unique experience for you to host and for people to attend. So
very cool. Other Steve's checking in with looks like 43 months in a row. Appreciate that.
Wow. Dedication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Also, again, it's glad to have you back. Glad you could join us today. Looking forward to chopping up a lot of things with you today. So we are live on YouTube. We're on live on Facebook and Kick and Twitch as always. Let's open the discussion, guys. Talking about a trailer that dropped just yesterday. It is the Karate Kid Legends. Karate Kid Legends trailer, which is the I don't even know how to phrase it. It's not necessarily a sequel. It's not really necessarily a follow-up, but it's basically the latest entry in the Karate Kid franchise. This time we're gonna have Daniel LaRusso and you're gonna have Mr. Han from the erstwhile Jaden Smith starring Karate Kid. Played once again by Jackie Chan. What do you guys make of the trailer, and what are you looking forward to the most with this from this movie? Gary, you're the guest. Why don't you start?
Quick question. I couldn't really find an answer. Is it tied into the Cobra Kai universe, or is this completely
don't know yet?
Okay. So the answer is yes, it is tied in.
Okay.
It takes place 3 years after Cobra Kai is supposed to wrap up.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, no, I'm excited, honestly. The 2010 one was okay. It's hard to beat a classic with such classic characters and classic actors, obviously. So it's cool that they're bringing Daniel back and having the whole Mr. Miyagi lore come back into play as well, with adding the 2010 elements. So it looks like they're teaching him the main kid like 2 different types of fighting styles too, which should be interesting for the fight scenes, especially in the whole learning process. I'm sure there's going to be conflict with the whole training thing, 2 completely different ways of training. So that's one I'm probably gonna go see day one, because I've always liked that whole series. Even Karate Kid 3 is a huge guilty pleasure because of how over the top 80s cheese it is.
So my only thing coming out of the trailer is, did Nariyoshi Miyagi just know everybody? Like, come on, man.
Why not?
One crazy fact I saw is that Jackie Chan and what's LaRusso's
Ralph Macchio?
Yeah, they're only 7 years apart in age.
Yeah,
which is insane.
That is insane. That dude must be a vampire or something.
I don't know. He does not age.
Not really.
Yeah, not really. What were you gonna say, GQ? Go ahead.
The thing I wonder about the Miyagi connection is, and again, it's nothing to say that when he fled Okinawa, like he did, and came to America or whatever, that he didn't obviously visit other places, but they always treated it as if at least for Karate Kid 2 standpoint, he left because Sato, he dishonored Sato and all that sort of thing, and like Dido said, he seems to kind of just basically know everybody. I'm sorry, like Garrett said, he seems to kind of know everybody, and it's like, I don't know. So I'm interested to see how he ties in with Jackie Chan. If Jackie Chan just either knew him just by reputation, or if they supposedly the characters cross paths at some point, because I don't know. That's just interesting. So we'll see where it goes.
It was a good trailer in that it didn't give too much away too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's thankfully they had some restraint and didn't tell us the entire movie in one trailer.
Now further trailers I probably not going to watch for that reason, because
they
always do that.
Yeah, I think I'm good with whatever they've got. I mean, there's going to be a kid that's getting bullied or whatever, and he needs 2 sensei somehow.
Or equal.
Whatever. Yeah,
I mean, when it comes to what you call it, one thing I wish they would do. You said it's Karate Kid Part 3, not 3. Not Hillary Duff. What the hell's her name?
Hillary Swank.
Swank. I wish they would bring that in there just somehow, because if he, just to make the world complete. If you know what I'm saying, just like, because you're putting in a Jaden Smith one, Why not put hers in there? Just I don't know.
The only time
actually, they kind of did, didn't they?
Yeah,
they
Cobra Kai addressed her. Cobra Kai
did.
addressed it. They didn't address her character.
Yeah,
but they addressed somebody that was tangentially related, in a roundabout way to her. So it's like,
I haven't caught up with Cobra Kai yet. I think I'm like one
same
season
here.
behind.
Good stuff.
You need to,
I know.
Yeah,
I got to get my Netflix back.
Yeah, because season 6 is broken up. They just
Right.
recently released part 2 of season 6.
Okay.
But for me, all 1 through 5 has been phenomenal. Season 6 is very good as well. So I mean, I think the only thing that you run into with Cobra Kai, at least, it's just the nature of storytelling, the way they do it. It's like these kids have the memory of goldfish. It's like, didn't y'all just squash this beef like less than an episode ago? Now y'all are right back to it. Like, oh, I hate this. It's like, come on, man. At some point, squash the beef, get on the same page, and move forward. But
keep it squashed.
Yeah, it's constantly just the back and forth. It's like, bro.
So, yeah, it was cool to see all the old characters come back, though.
Oh yeah,
especially Terry Silver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Silver, man. Thomas Ian Griffith he's been chewing up scenery left and right, man.
Yeah, man.
I've always liked his character because he was that, like you said, 80s over the top, ridiculous, cocained out villain. They even said in
cocaine out.
Yeah, that's what they said in the lore.
Yeah,
they're like,
so
back then, man.
Yeah, so it's like, and going into that backstory and everything, that's why for me Cobra Kai has been a standout series, where it's just like, this is how you go back with nostalgia, treat it with respect, dig into stuff that has never been explored before, and it's been great for me from beginning to end. What's up to James Pythian over there checking in?
James
said he's tired of trailers showing too much, which
I agree.
I watched
one trailer, no teasers, one trailer, done, movie. That's it. Teaser, trailer, movie.
That's interesting too.
Teaser, trailer, movie.
I go back and I watch trailers from the late 70s, early 80s, and they're like they are now, where it shows half the movie, and then that kind of went away, and now it's back.
Well, the ones back then, though, in the 80s and 70s, though, when they may have been showing the movies, they showed it out of context.
Yeah,
a lot of times you don't know what the hell is going on. You saw the stuff, but you know what's going on. These trailers are telling a story, and I was like, no, don't do that. Show it out of context if you're gonna do that. Just make you guess.
I think what it is, and Garrett obviously knows this from the film background, a lot of those older trailers made their stuff out of the dailies. That's pretty much what they had to work with. So it's like, look, this is all the footage you're gonna get to work with. If you want to make a trailer, you better make it here and now. Obviously now it's like, bro, you shot it, you can shoot a trailer specific, a shoot scene specifically for a trailer, because it's all digital now. It's just like, whatever, this will be done in a week or two or whatever. But no, there was definitely a shift once you got to the Inner World trailers with Don LaFontaine. Those trailers were just, they were like, look, man, universe build, conflict, day and date, go see this mug. That's literally what those trailers were like. And it was like, for me, that was perfect, because it's like, like when Force Awakens came around, it's like, I don't need a trailer to see that. I'm going to go see, because it's Star Wars. I'm already in. You just need to let me know when. But they had to put a whole trailer out for it. I'm like, you could have just teased me with a date. I would have been good.
Yeah. Speaking of the older trailers and also Star Wars too, the original trailer for Star Wars is really bad.
Oh yeah,
because,
absolutely.
Again, they're using the dailies. They don't have John Williams music. They don't have any of the sound effects. It's all on set sounds, and it just makes the movie look really bad. Which I think is
insane.
It's really funny.
Because
people saw that. That was their first exposure to Star Wars.
Oh yeah, the first time I ever got a chance to see those trailers was when they released them on DVD, and it's like finally get to see what is it that drew people to see this. It's like, wait, this is it.
This was it. Yeah.
Really? Like,
stock music and no sound effects.
Yeah, it was
no lightsaber effects either. Actually,
it was rough.
Yeah,
it was
totally rough. Simon says, did you have any thoughts on the Karate Kid trailer?
No, not really.
Not really. So the only thing for me is, like, I know the rumor says it takes place 3 years after Cobra Kai. I Are we going to see Johnny Lawrence? Would any of you want to see Johnny in this movie?
I think so.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. I want to see him and Carmen. This actress who plays Carmen is just beautiful. So any chance to see her is a good thing. Yeah, but I think they should keep that continuity of like, and especially it would be a really good way for the people that didn't see Cobra Kai to be like, hold on,
wait a minute,
Danny and Johnny are cool.
Right,
Johnny's got a family.
Exactly.
How did this happen?
Let's see what's going
this
on.
is serious. I need to go watch. So it's perfect advertising. Like throw him in there as a cameo, or maybe even a slight small part of it or whatever. But I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. Moving along, separate movie news, quick hitters. So apparently Black Panther 3 is officially announced.
Yes.
Confirmed.
Yep.
And thanks to Denzel Washington's little slip of the tongue, I guess, mentioning about it. So I don't know if that necessarily means that he's in it, but
at his level, I don't think it's a slip of the tongue. It's just like, go ahead, go ahead. People listen whenever he speaks, so go ahead and say what you got to say. So this is our official, because he's too media savvy to slip up, in my opinion. It's
he's
like
been at it a while.
Yeah, that's a Tom Holland type of slip up. He's been around the block way too many times to be like, oh, I shouldn't have said please.
Yeah, he was like, man, I'm Denzel Washington.
Right, exactly. Exactly. King Takeem is over on YouTube saying our entire generation are hooked on nostalgia. Yes, we are. I mean, that's exactly why we're here.
We got the best nostalgia.
We had the best nostalgia. Like,
yes. What the boomers got? Howdy doody. They ain't got nothing.
Leave it to Beaver. Leave it to Beaver. Like Andy Griffith's show.
Hey man, the Brady Bunch goes hard. I don't know what you're talking
about. Which one? You going about the movie in the 90s or the one back in the 60s?
Yo, the one in the 90s was awesome, man. I don't care what anybody says. The one in the 90s was awesome. Yes, the one in the 90s was awesome. So all right, like I said, Black Panther 3 officially announced. That's pretty cool. Man, I wish I had queued up the trailer, but I showed Dido the trailer for this Steam game called Dispatch yesterday. And I guess the premise of it, I think it's going to be a story, like a cinematic story. You got to basically, it's a play along where you got to choose the responses of the characters and stuff like that. You don't really control anything, but it's like an interactive cinematic. That's the best way to put it. Interactive.
The new Telltale looking game.
Yeah,
kinda, yeah. But the premise is there's this washed up superhero who he piloted a mech. He was called
his super suit.
Yeah, his super suit got destroyed. So, but he had a wealth of experience. So he wanted to. So he basically ended up becoming a dispatcher.
He didn't want to be, according to the trailer. They said you would be good for this, and it seemed like he was a reluctant.
Yeah. So basically, he works in a call center that dispatches superheroes to different locations or emergencies that go on, and it's kind of funny. So I want you guys to go out there and check it out. It was actually a pretty interesting premise, and I think it'd be one to watch out for. So speaking of games, let's go ahead. Let's pivot into the Game Awards. This happened this past weekend. A lot of good things came out of it, but mostly it was the announcements that I think people really cared about. Yeah. But I guess there's a slight controversy over the game that won game of the year. Astrobot won it, and some people feel some kind of way about it because it's a platformer and it wasn't like super graphically intense. Like
they didn't sell enough.
Or I don't even know if that's true. Is that even true?
According to something in here, they're upset because like Black Myth Wukong sold like 8 times more than that did, so it should have won just because it sold more. It's like, I mean, a good game is a good game, but it doesn't mean it has to sell that much in order to be a good game. Like, I just don't think that's how that works.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, if it's a good game, then it deserves to be the game of the year. That's exactly that means nothing of how many games it sold.
Well, hold on. Isn't Black Myth on multiple systems?
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is Astrobot was PlayStation only.
Yeah, it's like you got an exclusive game versus a game that's multi-platform. But it's like, look, like you guys have already said, if the game is good, that's to me what it takes to win Game of the Year, not just because you
Mhm.
sold a lot. Mortal Kombat sells a lot all the time. This
Yeah,
most recent Mortal Kombat is dog water.
And
As far as,
Dog water.
dead.
as far as
It
its
is
actual play and
dead.
everything, but Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat always sells. So that's
Mhm.
that's not an indicator of quality by
So,
any stretch of the imagination.
well, let me ask the question then. Why do you guys think Black Myth didn't win Game of the Year? Like, what did it have going against it that prevented it from winning? Because from all metrics, whether it be visual, play style, or whatever, it seemed like it was a pretty well put together game. Why do you guys think it didn't win?
I don't think it speaks to enough people. As much
Yeah.
as it's sold, that's for us. We're all anime fans. Everybody around this whole panel is anime fans, so we understand where the story comes from. We're very familiar with the lore, and it's the type of game that's just fun for us. Astro Boy speaks to a whole lot more people.
Yeah.
Just on a straight, just regular, just if you looked at both games side by side, you're gonna get more people that's gonna be kind of interested in Astro Boy because it's cute and easy to play, easy to pick up and have fun with, versus
Hard to match.
Okay.
Pick up, easy to pick up. Hard to
That's
match.
what I was gonna say. It's the game itself is, I'm not gonna say it's like a Souls like, but it's like one of those games where you have to like spend you actually have to like know your P's and Q's, spend time analyzing all your enemies, find out what weaknesses, what get the timing down of like the attacks and everything.
Yeah.
I think some people, and I'm sorry, Darian, some people just don't have that attention span to like sit around, try to figure out this
A
boss.
lot of people
And-
don't have that. attention
No,
span.
and it's like kind of like messed up, but you can pick up Astrobot and it's got the Mario feels. You can just go on and play it like it's a platform. Anybody can jump in and like have fun with that.
Oh yeah, I had my parents even play like the old Astro Bot on the
Wow.
VR. So
Wow, that's crazy. See, okay, so Takeem says something saying Wukong was robbed, Astrobot is safe for the normies. And that isn't necessarily a negative thing. Like, you don't have to be elitist about it. Like, if a game has mass appeal, that's how you win awards. That's how you make sales, right?
Yep.
Okay, granted, Astrobot was platform locked because it's a Sony exclusive, but that doesn't take away people from having a whole bunch of fun with it. Like apparently it's addicting gameplay. I haven't played it once, but but people that enjoy platformers or enjoy those types of games have raved about it for months. Like that's all I ever heard. Black Myth Wukong, when it came out, it was hot for a second and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
From
go ahead.
the people that I know that played it, a lot of what I heard was it was really good for the first few hours, and then it just kind of got stale,
repetitive.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Yeah.
with Astrobot, I just was like, this is awesome, and then just kept getting better as I went on. So
I mean, Astrobot filled the first rule of a good game is it's fun to play. It's easy to pick up and get into. That's the reason the Wii sold so well initially when it first came out.
Man,
and it was like, yo,
yes.
you play baseball the same way you swing a bat. You bowl the same way you bowl. Everybody was playing it because it was so intuitive and so simple. It was just like, bro, you have people that don't even like video games playing the Wii.
Yeah.
So-
Not just playing, buying.
yeah,
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
devoting
So-
hours to it. Hours.
Absolutely. So Astrobot is finally Sony understanding that, hey, you got to have something that people just enjoy. You know, and
I will. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I was gonna just a small thing. I will never forget the day the Wii came out because I had hockey practice that day, and like 2 people showed up. Everyone went out and bought a Wii and decided to play Red Steel and instead.
Nice.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the thing. I mean, like that's always been Nintendo's strength. They just get the intuitive. It's got to be simple and fun. They've always understood that one thing. So for Sony to finally have a game that proves that, maybe they'll get back on the ball and start bringing out some more interesting stuff again for the PlayStation platform while it's still around.
Your move, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Microsoft ain't doing nothing. Play the game. My thing is this though, and I'm not trying to change the topic. I'm just a little bit because I buy them all. Exclusives, PlayStation, and then things are gonna get cheap because like people are gonna be like, so your Resident Evils, anything that's cross-platform, it's gonna be cheaper on the Xbox. So I'll just pick it up on that. because it's gonna look the same. It's gonna play the same.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I want going around the panel. Everybody, I want everybody to pick your favorite announcement from the Game Awards this year. Like, who cares about the actual awards? Because nobody watches the live stream for the awards. Right?
I fast forwarded to the actual,
I did too.
What was your what was everybody's favorite announcement from the awards? Everybody can pick one. Garrett,
Can I say my least favorite too?
Sure.
Can we do favorite and least favorite?
Yeah, least favorite.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Least favorite was Clive and Tekken. Good God.
Yes. They put him in Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Like they did the whole bait and switch with the trailer, and all of us were like, why? Like, this is dumb. Like,
first time I saw it, I was like,
Hanmi should have been in there. Hanma Baki.
Hanma Baki. Yeah.
Opportunities missed.
A lot of
opportunities missed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That guy does not play Tekken.
Was Clive the first? Is Clive the first guest character?
Yeah.
In Tekken?
Yeah, for 8.
Yeah. When they announced 8, they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna spend quite a bit of time without any guests." So like that added to the hype of who's the first guest gonna be, who's the last DLC gonna be of this season. And it's that crap. Yeah. But and then like 3 trailers later was Virtua Fighter, and we're like, all right, we're back. Like, it's very much just like kind of dead and quiet in the room. Like, man, like this is the future of this game. And then Virtua Fighter popped up, and we're like, well, yeah, we're back, baby. Like,
by far,
fighting games are good again.
That was my favorite.
Because it looks like a grounded Virtua, like how Virtua Fighter's always been, grounded, realistic.
VF6 like it's gonna be crazy.
Oh,
but more on that later.
Yes.
Simon says, what was your favorite announcement?
I'm gonna say Ninja Gaiden. Everybody gonna think
bro. Yes.
I think it's gonna be dope.
I was like, dude, it's like back to Ninja Gaiden. Nintendo.
About time.
Yeah, man. Side scroller Ninja Gaiden. Yes. Give me more. I thought it was awesome. I think that's great. That looks like a day one buy for me. I'm being honest. Like,
my least was
day one only if I can get it physical.
Yeah. No, my least one was that Take-Two clone. I was like,
Take-Two.
That looks fun. I'm not gonna lie.
It Takes Two clone.
It's the same devs as it Takes Two.
Oh, okay.
You travel around.
Is it a clone?
Different
dimensions. If the same devs are making it, is it a clone though?
It's the same premise. You have 2 players, and you're going through, but the thing is that one is like I forgot the name of the game, but one character is like into like futuristic like sci-fi, and the other person is in a fantasy. So you switch between different games, but the same premise is like it's a co-op game. You have to like work together and all that stuff. It's like I don't know. It didn't really appeal to me.
Doesn't sound bad to me.
I thought it looks fun.
Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't sound bad to me. GQ, what was yours?
Garrett and I have the same least favorite. Clive from Tekken I played him recently because I have the early access or whatever. It was just like it's basically Noctis with a wolf assist now. So it's like that's
terrible.
That's not even really fun,
Button combos, baby. Welcome to Tekken 8.
Yeah, exactly. and then Takeem said
dial-up combos. Is that what I heard?
No, one button.
One button. You just mash the same button.
What? No.
Yeah. He's literally like just hit the sword button a couple times and it's a combo. And it's just
that's terrible.
It's not fun.
Terrible.
They did that with Eddie too.
Yep. To Takeem's point, like you said, if you do Final Fantasy, you do Tifa. Tifa should
a martial artist. Wow.
Yeah, Tifa long should have been a guest in Tekken, especially if they're going that route.
She would have fit right in.
Yeah,
right in.
My favorite announcement though was Onimusha. Only because I've always been a fan of the Onimusha series, all the way back when it started on the PlayStation 2. So I want to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with the next generation Onimusha. Just really just take it, and take their time with it. Don't. I think 2026 is when it's supposed to drop. So I don't want to hear no crazy like we're trying to get it out fast. No, do it right. Get it fully fleshed out and bring me some of that fun of the original, but then ramp up the difficulty, make it Souls-like if you want to, whatever. But I want to have that feeling of playing the original again because the original was just so good. So I want to have that same feeling with this new one.
Dido, what was yours?
Project Sentry, and as you know, I like the Yakuza series, and this one definitely looks like it's going to be kind of it looks way more violent than all the Yakuza games, because Yakuza you beat people up, throw people in the walls, smash your face. You're not breaking bottles on their fucking head and then stabbing the next guy. Like
I'm like, damn, man,
that's going to be part of the Yakuza series. Project Sentry.
Nice.
We all thought that was Sifu too for a minute.
Yeah,
we were like, wow, another one.
Mm-hmm.
That game looks really fun though.
Yeah. Okay, so mine was probably my favorite is probably The Witcher 4.
Okay.
The Witcher 4. I mean, even though it was just a cinematic, but just seeing it and probably like teasing what Ciri is going to be able to do as the protagonist now is highly intriguing. Made me want to jump back into Witcher 3 and start playing it again. But to be fair, also my favorite was Virtua Fighter announcement. That's probably was my other favorite. I don't really have a least favorite, but one that was kind of like overall just meh to me, maybe might have to be Clive. Yeah, if I'm being honest, probably is gonna have to be Clive, because it's just as a guest character he was like underwhelming, because like you said, GQ, before you even fired him up, I'm like, okay, he's got a weapon, he's got an assist, how is he any different from Noctis? Like, what?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Like, come on.
And you already have Victor in the game, which is also Noctis. So now we have two Nocti in the game. Like,
yeah, right, exactly.
I totally forgot about Victor, to be honest with you.
I didn't. Dumb character.
Yeah.
The French John Wick.
I always like how I think the most exciting part of the Game Awards is when they do bring back old series. Like another big one was Turok is coming back.
Oh yeah, that looked good.
Yeah,
it's not first person. It's not gonna make me feel sick.
And then last year was the whole Sega thing of like, we're bringing back like
all
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
So I was hoping for some of that to get a little bit, but I'll take Virtua Fighter. Sega, take your time.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And look, if you watched the Virtua Fighter celebration, not the celebration, but basically the showcase that they did at midnight that same night, where they talked about the development of VF6. Apparently they've been working on this for years. Like this isn't like a brand new thing. They've been working on it for a while. So like probably back when Ultimate Showdown came out, they were already working on it.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Which is super exciting to me, right? Because it's like we've been begging for another Virtua Fighter, and we're finally going to get it. But I want to talk about VF6, just that quick little tease that we got. Am I crazy to think that it looks like they are literally going to do it the way Street Fighter 6 is done, where in terms of like it looks really gritty. It looks really like almost open world, because like the little tease that you got of Akira fighting, I'm assuming that's Sarah, even though they call her Stella.
It is.
Like,
so it's Sarah,
right? So, but they're fighting like in a bazaar,
market,
like
a market,
in a market, right? That's nothing like what we've seen from any Virtua Fighter before.
Bigger stages would be cool, honestly.
Yeah, because most of the stages are just like ring
really
stages.
small.
Rings, right? Exactly. So you have to wonder.
No more ring outs.
I don't think they'll get rid of them completely, but
I don't think so either.
Yeah, but it's just like they're going off a more grounded / gritty approach.
Yeah.
Like you have to wonder, like, what is going to be are they going to have like much like Street Fighter 6? They're going to have World Tour mode where you can create your own fighter and maybe you can get your own movesets in there. Oh boy. I
mean, they've almost had something like that before.
Part 4.
Yes, with 4.
Part 4 kind of wasn't, obviously it wasn't open world or anything, because that wasn't even on the table yet. But they've had kind of visiting different areas and ranking up and all this sort of thing. So we'll have to see.
I mean,
be interesting.
With all the modern fighting games, aside from crappy Mortal Kombat 1, there's been a lot of single player content. Street Fighter 6 had World Tour, Tekken 8 had the whole arcade thing with the Tekken Lounge.
Mhm.
So Mortal Kombat had what is the
Invasion.
Invasions? Good God, that was not single player content.
Well, the problem with Invasions was it took them a while to get it to a playable point of like, okay, I'm not just wandering around chasing my tail.
Yeah,
Like I can figure out like they put a damn map in the thing finally, and
right.
then made it so like it was not a horrible idea at first, but the execution was just really really bad. It was just like, okay,
especially when MK11 had such a good crypt. Like I spent more time in the crypt than I did playing the actual fighting game part because it was so fun. It was like, all right, how are they going to top that? And they didn't. So that being said, Virtua Fighter would be very smart to have some kind of single player story mode, world tour or something. Which
it's literally the weakest. Yeah, it's literally the weakest of all the fighting game entries as far as story mode goes.
Right,
like,
always been that.
It's always been the weakest. It's like
funny that they try to do an anime.
I know, right?
How you gonna do anime that you have no story
at all? Man. I know it was so weak. It was so weak.
It would be nice to see them flesh it out though.
Yeah, unless they have like a really really in depth like world tour mode, like leveling your character up and all that stuff. Just like instead, and hopefully they don't go the whole route of like every other fighting game where you can buy your freaking outfits or some shit like that. It's like, or buy new characters. Like, no, man.
I think we're stuck with that.
See, the thing is,
I know we are, but I'm just saying though, dude, it'd be nice just to like go back to like
listen. AM2 is not doing this.
Yeah.
Right? The makers of Yakuza Like a Dragon, Ryu, Goto, they're the ones that's making it.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the Yakuza games, I think they might put something that is a one-player experience in there. They got to, because Virtua Fighter started off in the arcades. Back in the day, arcade games were what they are. When you play arcade mode and it's all stripped down, that's what they were. And Sega, unfortunately, has always been an arcade maker first. Because even when they started bringing their stuff home to home systems, things that would come from the arcade to home system were just basically an arcade port. They didn't really add much to it. Virtua Fighter was, unfortunately, fell victim to that a lot. But today's age, arcades are dead. So Virtua Fighter is not going to appear in the arcades first. It's going to appear on home consoles first. They have to put stuff in there. I think it would be very unwise for them not to. Specifically, what I'm hearing about things like the new Mortal Kombat or Mortal Kombat. I haven't played it at all.
Don't play it.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess
don't even bother. Yeah, don't bother.
Stick with MKX or MK9 if you want to play modern Mortal Kombat.
What's up to Sharita Jackson and Meow Yen checking in? Appreciate
y'all.
Hello,
ladies. Welcome to the show. Last note on that, to me, VF Evos. If the two things I want them to bring back in Virtua Fighter to this one, VF Evo to this day is still the greatest training mode of all time. Like, it literally taught you everything front to back about terminology, move sets, throw escapes, all this other kind of stuff in Virtua Fighter that you could ever need. It's still the greatest to this day of a training mode in any fighting game I've ever played. But I also really loved that arcade mode where basically you would go around to different arcades and basically dominate them or basically take them over and become the champion of the arcade. I loved that mode. I thought that was fantastic. So I would love for them. I thought that was great. All right, so
are they adding more than 2 characters this time?
We don't know.
So the last time in VF5 altogether, they brought back Taka Arashi. They added Eileen. They added El Blaze. They added Jean. So 3 new, 1 returning. I do wonder what other martial. I would love for them to bring in Capoeira. I would love for them to bring in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay, man.
I would like them to bring back Vanessa's melanin.
Yes,
yes. Because she's veiled too, though. I don't think Capoeira is tricky for Virtua Fighter just because of the way Virtua Fighter works. I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu would be cooler. Especially because of throw escapes, you turn it almost into the same thing you have with King from Tekken, where it's like multi-part throws with multi-part escapes. So that could be one way, but I think Capoeira would break Virtua Fighter.
Okay, That's fair.
I think real true capoeira would break Virtua Fighter just based on the way Virtua Fighter plays.
Okay,
what about Wing Chun?
Well, Wing Chun well, it's not Wing Chun that that Lao and Pai do. So I guess technically that would be a good one. Wing Chun.
Oh, or Wushu. That's another thing I was thinking about too.
Wing Chun or Wushu, or maybe even Taekwondo. I think would be pretty good. There's no one that does Taekwondo in all of Virtua Fighter.
Nope.
So I think that would actually be pretty good too.
Yeah, they're mostly like two karate experts in the game if you think about it. Gene, what is Gene? The silver hair.
Yeah, Gene is karate, and
Akira.
Akira is
Chinese.
He's Baji Quan. Baji Quan is not
okay.
Is not karate. So
he just wears what everybody thinks is the karate gi,
which is weird, right?
Yeah.
Which is also why I'm glad in the VF6 trailer that they gave him that new outfit. Oh, bro, that looks hard. That looks hard. Yeah. I would love for him to wear that.
Is that a happy early birthday to Miao Yin over there?
It sounds like it.
Nice.
You never ask a young lady her age, but just happy birthday to you and all your family. We miss you. We hope to get you back on the show at some point, but we know that life is what it is right now, and you can't do that. But it'd be awesome to get you back on board. All right, so let's get to the big news. And the big news is that tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, the DC Studios Superman teaser trailer is going to hit. Based on the hype and everything surrounding this project, it could possibly be, in my opinion, the biggest trailer of recent memory. I'm not going to say of all time, because I still feel like Phantom Menace probably takes that one. But to me, there's so much writing on this Superman trailer. Oh yeah, right there, Ray Park sign, yes. But to me, there is so much writing on this trailer and this movie to do good. I've seen it. I've heard the music. I think they're and I've seen the poster. Obviously, I think they're on the right track. But I'm interested to hear what you fellas think about this trailer, the hype surrounding it, and everything going around. Gary, why don't you go first since you're the guest?
I don't have much of an opinion on this, to be honest. I am curious because it's kind of like a hard reset for the whole DC universe. So that's where my curiosity comes from, because the previous movies just kind of went downhill really quickly.
Just putting it mildly.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see, because they have to compete with Marvel. They're going down. So this trailer has to be a big deal. This movie has to be really good, or I don't want to say it's game over for DC, but it's going to be hard to, are you going to have to reboot the series if it's bad? Like where do you go from there? So that's where I'm curious to see how it looks, what the vibe is, how the effects, like everything. Is it going to look like a Marvel movie? Is it going to be its own thing? Because I know with the old DC, they tried to do their own thing and it didn't work out. So I'm very curious, more than anything, to see how it's going to play out, how it's going to look. So that's why I'll be checking it out. I don't really have much of an investment in DC stuff, nor Marvel much anymore. But as someone who's into film, curiosity more than anything.
Okay, no, and that's fair. I love that. Simon says,
yeah, I'm actually excited. Me being a DC fan and all that, but I'm also Marvel Image. So, but for this to be, their chance to bring fans back in to the fold, it would be nice to hopefully that this becomes a decent movie to where they get right, as people would say, get right and bring back the feels of how your Superman is and all this stuff. I'm also waiting. I'm kind of excited because I'm actually looking forward to see also the Brave and the Bold. I want to see how that turns out. 'Cause that might be cool, but again, we're still in waits of that.
We are so far away from the Brave and the Bold that it's not even in concepts phase. Like as our incoming president would like to say, he doesn't even have concepts of a plan for that one. Right.
But
right
again,
now.
as I'm excited though, because like I said, he said, he's got a concept going on. He's got ideas and everything, and how this will, launch it. Hopefully, it does launch everything to make it to where, oh yeah, when the next one comes out, we're ready for it. It'll be exciting, but we'll have to see how this goes out now.
All right. GQ.
Well, hold on. Let's address King Takeem's question. He has a question.
Can we
for
not?
the
I mean, I
what
swear
did you think of Land of Steel?
I think he asked the same thing the first time I was on the show.
Yes, he
Probably
did.
did.
That's why I said, can we not?
Yeah.
Let's not waste our time, please.
If you want a quick answer, I don't remember it.
Hey, that's fair. I listened to the song.
Yeah.
The song is uninspired. I'm going to just throw it out there. I feel the song itself is uninspired. Yes, we all know the John Williams one is iconic and classic. The one from Man of Steel is actually really good, though. The theme for Superman was pretty good. It had its own kind of identity. This one is like, I don't know. I'd have to hear it in context of a scene or see it in context of a scene, added on. Because by itself with that poster, I was just like, it's music. It exists. As far as excitement for it, Superman is, I don't know. He's just one of those characters that it's like, if he's done right, it's really interesting to see. Animated series nailed it.
Yes.
Justice League nailed it. So it's like, until I get something that feels like that again, Superman's not a character that excites me. Because of the fact that he is too powerful as a character, and his struggles are always based on things just outside of the range of his power. That's what I think Zack Snyder didn't understand. The character, having him let his father die in a tornado versus dying from a heart attack, which Superman cannot stop.
He can't do nothing about that.
So James Gunn obviously he's a much better director and concept person for that. So we'll see where that goes. I will obviously watch the trailer because I just want to get an idea of what's his take going to be, what's the feel going to be.
Yeah,
but so far the early marketing has not pulled me in. Like that one picture that everybody memed about 6 months ago when he was sitting there putting his boots on.
Oh, it's a bad picture. Bad picture.
It was just like,
it's a bad picture.
But again, that's not necessarily James Gunn's fault. That's the marketing team. So I mean, there's a number of things that this trailer can probably answer for me in the sense of where they're going to go with this, how's it going to feel. Hopefully that song will get put to better use than it was with that poster, because I was just like, this song is kind of dull. Like, at least all the other ones got you hype in some way. This one's just dull because it's just there.
Yep. Dido, what's your thoughts on it? I know they would be very brief.
Yeah, it is brief because I enjoy watching movies, as I always said, and the Superman should. I shouldn't say should. I mean, we expect it. So we should expect a Superman-like type character. There are, I won't say rumors, but there's a certain YouTuber out there that expects this Superman to be a little Max Fleischer type Superman, to give him something to do. I don't know where he got that idea from, but apparently that's where he thinks it's going. And I just hope it's entertaining because, speaking of Man of Steel, I told people my opinions is just like he didn't feel like Superman. Like, Superman should not feel like somebody who's brooding and not knowing what to do. He should be certain, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I stand for. This is how I'm going to go about doing it. And it should have been like that from the get-go. So, I'm hearing that this Superman, he's going to already have a few years underneath his belt. He's still going to be relatively young. I look forward to seeing what's going to be because, again, I like watching movies. I like going to the movies, even though this year I didn't go to the movies often because I really didn't feel like leaving the house. But regardless of that, next year I'm going to try to make some changes. I'll wait to see the trailer because I don't want to say much of anything until the end of the movie, because trailers, you got too many people out here. They get one snippet of something. Oh my god, it's gonna be terrible, and it sucks. Oh, and it's woke, and I'm like, fucking shut up, shut up.
Oh, so bad. Yes.
Watch the
100%.
movie. I don't know. So
no, it's fair, but to Micah Turner, who just threw in a comment into the chat, it says, do you think Henry Cavill is going to bring the missed potential from the Witcher series and pour it into Superman? Would that ever be true? But Henry Cavill is not going to be Superman. It is going to be Mr. David Cornsweet, who Corn Sweat. I know a lot of people aren't
Sweat.
You gotta change that name, bro.
He gonna change his government
no, you
name.
can't change it. But you got
Nicolas Cage isn't Nicolas Cage, bro.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch for whatever reason works. Corn Sweat just sounds. That's just asking for
Sweat.
Corn Sweat.
This was a place to sneeze with a P, and the memes write themselves.
So right on the cusp of his stardom, you expect him to change his name, because he's already been acting for a number of years.
I don't care, bro. I don't care. Nicolas Cage sounds so much better than Nicolas Coppola. It just does.
Nick Coppola doesn't roll off the tongue.
I don't know. Nicolas, we all know why he did it, because he didn't want to just trade off of the name. But it's Corn Sweat, bro. Just change to something else.
Something else. I heard
just have that be your stage name. Be something completely different.
So I hear that. So as the resident Superman fanboy in this group, I have a different perspective than GQ or the others would have, in that when I saw the motion poster, I thought that was pretty awesome. It was evocative of what it reminded me of was looking at a cover that Alex Ross had drawn and produced. For those of you that are not comic book fans, probably one of the most prolific comic book artists of the last 20 or 30 years is Alex Ross. He makes lifelike depictions of superheroes that almost look like they're brought to life. If you never read Kingdom Come, if you never read Marvels, I would even if you don't want to read them, just go look at his art. His art is immaculate, right? So when I saw that poster, that was the first thing I thought of was that. But then it also harkened back to the original
Superman right here.
Yeah, that one right there.
This book open yet?
Yeah, hold it up to the camera and let people see it. So Kingdom Come, it opened up one of the best panels that you can find.
I don't know what it is.
Superman. So basically, all of his art is lifelike, realistic art. And if you've never seen, turn around and turn to a full spread, good page. I mean, come on, man. Find me something, and find me something so I can show the people.
I mean, I didn't read it yet, so I don't know.
That's fine. But find a really great piece of art that he's done.
The best one is when Wonder Woman meets him in the fortress.
He's splash page.
Which page?
Splash page. It's basically when they do the artwork is one entire page.
Yeah, it's like a spread across the two folds of the page. Don't do that.
I'm just joking. Do I look like a boomer? Maybe, but I'm not.
Just don't do that.
Come on now. I don't lick my fingers.
Anyway, so like I was saying, it also reminded me of the first Superman the movie poster that you saw, and I think that was on purpose. They're trying to get people back into the mode of thinking this is classic Superman. This is what Superman is supposed to be, and partially that's what the music 30-second little teaser of the theme that they had is. It isn't the full theme, but it's going to evoke kind of what they're going for. I'm not saying that. Thank you. That is perfect. That picture right there. Hold it up a little bit more. Up. Yeah, right there. That right there is evocative of kind of the stuff
that's Max Fleischer
that Alex Ross would do, right? And honestly, when I heard the music, it made me think of it's uplifting, it's hopeful, whatever, right? And I get what some of the detractors are saying. Oh, it's unoriginal. Yes, the Williams theme is iconic, but should they be leaning on it more? Man of Steel was more upbeat, more epic, right? And I understand that, and I felt like there was a little bit of a mashing of the two themes in the 30 seconds that we got. I need to hear more, much like GQ does too, but I think they're on the right track. What I hope to get out of this movie or out of this trailer from the rumors that I've heard is that according to some rumors, this is a 2-minute trailer. Which, if that's true, that's crazy. Like a 2-minute teaser trailer, that's a little much.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too long.
That's a little much. So that's
it
got me a little
depends.
bit.
It depends. If you show a lot of establishing shots of areas, locales with no story behind them, you can do a 2-minute teaser trailer, because that's kind of what you could. I think that's almost what they did with not Man of Steel. That's what they did with Superman Returns. They spent a lot of time on Metropolis, you know, in Kansas and all of that stuff, just showing you slow shots of environments, basically. Then you get to a little bit of, you know, stuff that's actually going on in the film. You can make teasers. Teasers can be long. It's just you just got to make sure you don't throw too much in there as far as narrative and story.
And that's my worry.
Look, if they show the spider, we're gonna have an issue. Keep the spider hidden. You don't know about the spider? Superman movies got to have spiders in.
Oh my God! Not that Superman anymore.
Gotta have spiders in.
No.
So when the spider, they just don't show the spider.
Heard that. No, don't do it. Anyway, so no, I'm super excited for this trailer, but more or less, I know how much is riding for DC Studios with this movie in general. Because like Garrett talked about, if this movie does not do well, oh my goodness. What if they can't afford to get off on the wrong foot with this movie? This movie has to be not necessarily a home run, but it's got to be a double. You know, it can't be a single and just be okay. It's got to set a tone to make people excited about going to see DC movies again.
I mean, this is the second time they rebooted their universe with Superman, so
yes.
This is to me, this is the last chance to reboot the DC universe.
Yes, that right there. And I've read a little bit. I've tried to avoid all of the things like people have written about what James Gunn has said about the movie in general. But one of the things that they did say with this movie, there's not going to be any buildup. He's throwing you literally right into the fire. Like they said, the movie starts with an action scene. Like just throws you right into it. Good. Because you don't need to worry about who is Clark Kent, who is Superman, you know, where did he come from? Get rid of all that. No,
you should already know.
You should already know. Boom. Let's go. And basically, that's where it
I'm perfectly fine with that. So whenever his Batman movie comes around, I don't want to see the parents get killed.
Man, exactly.
Just go ahead and let it be an established universe, and we're in the middle of it. And then when you have new people that are, you know, people that are, you know, very unfamiliar for people, then you can start telling your origin stories again.
Yeah,
telling your origin stories for characters that everybody knows what happened. Yeah. Everybody knows how Batman became Batman. Everybody knows how Superman became Superman. It's ingrained in the DNA of just pop culture. Everybody knows these stories.
Yes.
Stop, you know, wasting time basically on origins that we've already seen a million times.
Just have it like Batman. It's like the beginning of it. You know, it'd be dope though. Would be sweet if they did the actual like intro for B-Ties. Him like chasing down a couple of villains.
Yeah,
that's I like that. Yeah,
no, may as well.
Yeah, I like that.
May as well. That could be the opening for that movie.
Yeah,
I like that. No, I like that. I think that's a good idea. All right, so we got like a couple minutes before the show is supposed to be over. I can't wait to see the trailer tomorrow. I got a day job, so I can't do no trailer reactions. Otherwise, I probably would. But I'll probably be watching it multiple times a day tomorrow. But is there any questions out there for those of you in the audience for the panel that you guys would like to ask that we can answer? Ask us anything time. The power is yours. However you want to phrase it.
Got 2 Henry Cavill stands in the chat apparently.
I mean, you know him doing his Warhammer series got picked up by Amazon, so I guess they're going to be doing it, which is pretty.
Oh, cool. So they're doing it as a series and not a movie?
Yeah, it's going to be a series. Yeah,
I did hear some kind of rumor that Henry Cavill's going to return as a Calverine or whatever, because they said something about what was it called? It had to be something that was bullshit though. Something with Captain America, huh?
It was like a what if thing.
I don't know if it was a what if, but saw something with Captain America. What the hell did they call it? Not Commandos. I forgot something. I don't know. We'll see. But,
you're talking about the Howling Commandos?
Not 100% sure.
Because
I shouldn't even have brought it up because I just looked at it and thought it was bullshit, and then I kept scrolling.
Mhm.
Thunderbolts?
No.
It did say something about because it was talking about. I think it was talking about Thunderbolts. I think it was talking about something that was we don't know what's going to happen in the Thunderbolts, and it had something about with Captain America, and it had something with Wolverine, but it was Henry Cavill's Wolverine, and I was just like, oh, this got to be bullshit, and then I kept scrolling.
Yeah. Speaking of Thunderbolts, Feige and Marvel, they better be careful with Thunderbolts, man. Because I'm telling you,
careful.
like,
Can't be another Eternals.
bro, let me tell you, they better be real careful with that. Because like every time we get something with it, it gets us excited, but then it goes literally right back into the shadows. Like nobody knows what the hell is going on, which is a good thing. I guess.
I think
That is them
Thunderbolts.
to the Shadow Realm.
I think Thunderbolts will be fine because you have enough charismatic characters and people in it to keep it interesting. Red Guardian and Yelena alone could be an entire movie just of how entertaining those two characters are. But now you got Bucky in there, who's in a whole different dynamic.
Bucky and
So
Walker, yeah,
the movie's gonna be fine.
Okay.
To Sharita's point, I've seen Red One. I saw it in the theaters.
Yep.
We've actually, I think most of us here have seen it now.
yeah. We watched
I
it on
enjoyed
Sunday.
it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had fun with it.
That doesn't necessarily mean it was a good movie, but
It was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
A lot of movies are entertaining, not good.
Yeah, I think it was entertaining. Wait a minute. Sharita says, I'm ready for Secret Wars, the movies. Wait a minute. As long as it's nothing like Secret Invasion. Oh my God, Secret Invasion was so bad, bro.
Aren't the Russos doing the Secret Wars movies though?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
It's already good then. There's ain't nothing to worry about there.
Yeah.
Brian says the game that caught his eye was Dispatch, which we had mentioned earlier.
Dispatch. Yeah, Dispatch.
That looks like that's going to definitely be a fun game. I don't even normally like the Telltale games, but that one was an interesting premise for me, so I probably would end up checking that one.
No, I love the Telltale. My favorite one still today is Wolf Among Us. I can't.
Wolf Among Us was really good. I enjoyed it.
Fantastic. Yes,
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Fantastic.
What the fuck am I doing?
We didn't bring up that AI generated cat trailer.
Oh yeah,
Game Awards.
AI generated cat trailer.
That's what they call it. Is it called
Catly,
Cat? Yeah, I saw that. That was weird.
Clearly not a real thing that somehow slipped into the Game Awards.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap. Okay. This is an actual game, but they use
There's no way.
No.
There's
What?
no way.
You gotta watch it, man. Watch it.
Okay.
The whole trailer is AI generated. 100%.
Okay, I definitely gotta watch that now. So speaking of AI, so I watched I went to the theaters this past weekend and saw that Lord of the Rings: The War of Rohirrim, basically. And man, I'm telling you, like the character designs in it was pretty good, but the animation was so subpar. Like it looked AI assisted. That's how that like it looked great, but when you see it in motion, it looked like it was less than 24 frames per second in some areas. It looked like it was AI assisted in other areas. It was just like there's a garden variety anime series that was outdoing the animation in this full-blown movie, which is a shame. It's a shame.
I got a few friends that are really into Lord of the Rings. I was gonna be like, hey, let's go see it just out of curiosity.
Did they go see it?
No.
Oh, damn, that's too bad. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It was just it has some animation problems. That's all.
Yeah, my next theater movie is Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Oh yeah, this Friday. Definitely can't wait for that. What we need to?
Nosferatu, come on.
Yeah, we need. Oh, I am looking forward to Nosferatu, but isn't that a Christmas Day release?
Yes. Yep.
It's a weird thing to having Nosferatu be a Christmas Day release.
Christmas is one of the biggest theater days of the year.
Exactly.
Yep. That's when I went to go see Street Fighter back in 1994.
See?
Yep. Unfortunately, it didn't work for Batman and Batman Mask of the Phantasm because I did go see that one.
I did too.
Same.
And the funny thing is, that was a packed theater for that because everybody loved that series. It just didn't do numbers the way it needed to do numbers.
Which is too bad. Which is too bad because it was one of the finer Batman movies ever made. One of the finer Batman movies ever made. All right, y'all. That will wrap up the show for us today. Want to thank everybody for joining us. A special great thanks to Garrett from Grand Finals Entertainment for joining us, man. You got to make it. Maybe come back on a little bit more regular if your time permits. that'd be pretty awesome to have you in the fold as a regular.
Oh, for sure.
guest.
I got
Dope.
plenty of stuff to promote.
All right. Okay, so for make sure obviously next week Wednesday is Christmas Day. More likely may not be a stream that one because we all got family obligations.
And
Not me.
Nosferatu. I got Nosferatu obligations.
And you got Nosferatu. So we'll be taking a break. There will be no show next week, and maybe not a show New Year's Day. We'll have to see.
We should do a New Year's Eve stream.
Maybe
Stay
we could
on
do that
all
instead.
night.
Maybe we'll do that instead.
And maybe we should do it in the studio.
12-hour stream.
You know, honestly, that may not be a bad idea. So, pay attention to all our socials. We're up on Blue Sky. We're on Facebook. We're on on Twitter still. So follow us over there and stay tuned for any updates concerning Culture Junkies Live. So in case we don't see you before then, all of you have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, great New Year. We appreciate all of you. Yeah, we appreciate all of you for being wow. We appreciate all of you for being a part of the Culture Junkie Nation. And we couldn't do all of this stuff without you. So thanks very much. We hope you have a very, very safe holiday season. We will see you later.
That boy Smokey Robinson saying Happy Chinooka. He says,
Wow.
You didn't see that video? I'm gonna share it to you.
I've seen it. Also, unboxings will return at the beginning of the year. I am going to obviously take a little bit of time off on that because voice wasn't what it needed to be back then, and I've got new stuff that's coming in anyway. So,
yeah,
unboxings will return at the beginning, turn of the century.
All right. Take care, everyone. For my friends, the great Adakuji GQ, Simon Says, and Garrett, I am Kenshiro. We'll see you guys later. Peace out. Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.